Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Breakfast with Brian. Please excuse me if my voice sounds a little bit strange. I've just had a violent coughing fit after I swallowed something. So, what are we going to think about today? Well, I've been reading in Matthew again, and this time a little bit further on in Matthew chapter 20, reading about the parable of the workers in the vineyard. And in this parable, the employer promised to pay each one of them the same amount, the one who was hired at the beginning of the day and then the one who was hired later in the day. So when it came to pay them, they started to grumble. Well, we've worked through the heat of the day. We have worked all day. And these who are employed for just a short time, they're getting the same as us. That's not fair. And the master said to them, but look, you agreed to work for the amount that I offered you. And above that, isn't it my right as an employer to pay you what I think fit? It's my money after all. So I think this is so like today. I've been in a workforce where employees are disgruntled because somebody's getting paid more than somebody else. In fact, I made it a policy very early in my working life not to talk about what I was being paid to anyone. And I began to realize very soon after that it wasn't my employer who was paying me. He was merely a channel. God is my support. After all, he says in his word, I will supply all your need. If you look after others, you care for others, you help others, I will supply your need according to my riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Not limited to human resources, not limited to the financial circumstances of the day, but my resources. And so through my life, as I observed that and believed that that was the case, I've had quite remarkable things happen to me. Not just to me, but we have to us, both Robin and I. We've had amazing things happen. And so what I'm believing today with you is that we will all get a real revelation of the fact that it is God who supplies our need. Now, we've been thinking about financial need, about wages. But there are other needs that we have. At times, we need some medical help. We need some help from someone who has a greater knowledge of the human body than we do. Is it they who then provide a cure or provide help? No, they are the channels. Wonderful. It's not belittling them at all. They play an amazing role, important part. But it's God who provides, and he might provide through them, or he might provide through some other resource. And it's the same with husbands and wives. Sometimes we are so reliant on our husbands or wives to supply what we need that we forget that it's not them who supply it, they're the channels. God created them to provide, to be the channel for his provision, to satisfy certain deep things within us, and also for us to be able to love and serve them and satisfy within them. Now, it's always God who is supplying, and we are just the channels. And if you want to stop and think about so many different areas of life, we want enjoyment in life. So what do? We go to entertainment. Whether it's the theatre or sport or something else, and we think we get our entertainment from them. No, God is the one who provides us with our entertainment, our enjoyment. He's the one who satisfies us with deep joy that nothing in the world can give us. The world's way of doing it is not the way that God does it. His is the only satisfying source of our need. Now, when we then realize that, and we're not depending on others to provide, it takes the pressure off us. We are content because we know that when the right time comes, God will supply what is needed. And if we think it's a bit late, well, then God knows, and He knows it's never late. He always supplies at the right time. It's just our way of thinking, because His way of thinking is different to ours. And we need to align ourselves with His way of thinking. And His way of thinking is, if you depend on someone else to supply your need, they are becoming an idol in your life. Ooh, that's a bit heavy, isn't it? But that's true, because that's what happened with the Israelites. When they didn't get rain after calling on God, they started to call on other gods, non-existent gods, to provide for them. So, how can we sum this up? Trust God, believe God for everything. Depend upon Him in every circumstance, situation of your life. He is the only one who satisfies deeply. God bless you. Thank you for watching Breakfast with Brian.